That's Ed Rapuano calling balls and strikes here today. Joe West, Paul Nart, Paul Schreiber on the bases. Joe West is the crew chief, so as he deems necessary on a boundary call for a home run, he'll make that decision. Randy Wynn set to lead off, and away we go from Miller Park. This is game number 75 of the year for the Brewers, and they come in 40 wins, 34 losses, 6 games over 500, and percentage points ahead of the Cardinals in the National League Central. Little broken bat bouncer out to McGee, and one gone here in this first inning.
That's a pitch I was talking about right there. That fastball with some good late movement going down when he gets on top of it and gets a lot of ground ball outs. Sets up every one of his pitches, that fastball.
Suppan took the loss in his last start, but as Rock mentioned, he pitched a lot better than his line would indicate. Some defensive breakdowns behind him led to 5 innings, 9 hits, and 7 runs against Suppan. 4 of those runs were earned. Look out. Fred Lewis fouls one off Pablo Sandoval's foot in the on-deck circle.
A good way to start your Sunday. Maybe that'll slow him down a bit.
He's been hot for sure. Hit 2 home runs last night, had 3 hits. Little shuffle in that Giants batting order today in the final game of this series. No Aaron Rowand in the lineup. No Juan Uribe, who had 2 hits last night.
And no Benji Molina, their cleanup hitter.
Well, the bottom of this Giants order, 3 guys who all started the year in Fresno in AAA. And a pitcher making his major league debut, Ryan Sadowski. Fred Lewis making his first start of the year, or of the series. Gets jammed on a good fastball from Suppan and 2 quick outs on 2 ground outs. So 2 gone, and Sandoval stepping in.
A good late life on that fastball from Suppan, keeping it in on Lewis. Tried to get the barrel of the bat on, just couldn't do it. Up and in, good pitch.
Talented 22-year-old Pablo Sandoval checks in with a .340 batting average today after 3 hits last night. Second best in the National League. Sandoval is behind David Wright in the batting race. Wright hitting .346 to open the day with the New York Mets. Sandoval with 2 homers last night, both of them solo shots. Had a solo home run in the opener on Friday as well. He's done a lot of damage in this series. Off the end of the bat this time. Braun coming in. And a good start for Jeff Suppan. 3 up, 3 down, and now Ryan Sadowski ready to make his major league debut. Giants series. And now 3-2 on the homestand so far. Maka's lineup today has an interesting batter at the top of the order. Matt Gamble, for the first time in his professional career, hitting leadoff. Hardy and Braun followed, and Fielder, McGee, and Cameron. Corey Hart, Jason Kendall, and Jeff Suppan rounded out. Subway lineup for Ken Maka, and the Piggly Wiggly scouting report on Ryan Sadowski.
Yeah, 6'4", 195. He's a big guy. He's 5-2 down in Fresno with a .411 earned run average. That was in 13 starts. Nothing really spectacular. Average fastball. He'll sink it, he'll cut it. Slider and a changeup, and a little bit of familiarity for him. The battery mate, Eli Whiteside, they both worked together in AAA.
Sadowski's major league debut. He has not pitched since the 20th of June. So this is the 8th day at 7 days rest. Was in the starting rotation down in Fresno in AAA. Made 13 starts down there. Matt Gamble in the leadoff spot for the first time. Gamble had a key at bat last night. He did not start, but he pinch hit in the 9th inning and drew a walk. And Gamble scored the tying run as part of that 3-run 9th and the comeback win against the Giants last night here in front of a sellout crowd.
Yeah, Brewers able to come off the deck a couple of different times. It was Gamble's walk, Craig Counsell with a base hit to get things going. So a good night at the ballpark last night.
Well, with Brian Wilson's stuff last night, you didn't figure the Brewers were going to be able to post 4 hits in an inning. But they did just that. And just to make it official, Fielder's hit was ruled as a double and an RBI. And Fielder's hit is the one that won it for Milwaukee. Prince's first walk-off hit of the season.
Yeah, talking to Dale Swain, before the ball game, he said there were a lot of tremendous at-bats in that inning. Talked about Gamble's, Counsell. Corey Hart probably had the best at bat of anybody.
Well, Sadowski strikes out Matt Gamble. And one gone here in the first, and that's how Sadowski's big league career gets started. Fred Lewis, Randy Wynn, Nate Shearholtz, the outfield for the Giants today. Sandoval, Renteria, Downs, and Ishikawa around the horn, with Eli Whiteside, Sadowski's battery mate down in Fresno, getting the call behind the plate. J.J. Hardy gets jammed and a bouncer out to Renteria. 2 outs. Now, as Rock mentioned in our open today, the Brewers have not had a lot of success against pitchers making their major league debut. Matter of fact, they are 0-3 in games where major league debuts have occurred. Anthony Swarzak with the Twins. The Brewers hit Tommy Hanson pretty well, but lost the game. And then Alfredo Figueroa in Detroit pitched very well in his 5 innings against the Brewers last week.
Yeah, ordinarily a pitcher's going to have a bit of an advantage against a team that has never seen him before. But that should extend into, second, third time through the lineup.
Ryan Braun with 16 long balls this season, 53 driven in. He's had a good series against the Giants. 4 for 8, driven in a couple of runs. Both of those RBIs came on Friday. Braun is among league leaders in a number of categories. He's currently 6th in the league in RBIs coming in. He's up there in the top 5 in multi-hit games. He's 2nd in runs scored this year. Only Albert Pujols has scored more runs than Ryan Braun. A testament to his ability to get on base, and the guy who hits behind him having an MVP type season in Fielder.
Yeah, they both feed off of each other, and with both of them in the lineup, it makes both of them better, if that makes any sense. Last night, Barry Zito pitching very carefully to Ryan Braun. He walked him, and then Prince comes up and hits a 3-run home run to get the guys right back in the ball game.
Braun takes ball 4. He's been willing to do that a lot more this year, and that's given Fielder opportunities with men on base. And you always like to get Fielder a chance in the first inning to swing the bat. Take a look at the Firestone leaderboard up above. Game-winning RBIs in the National League. Fielder has 8, but last night was his first of the walk-off variety, and the 5th of his career.
Man, the key to Prince's success this year, no doubt, has been his patience. Up amongst league leaders in walks, on a pace to walk over 100 times, and when he gets a good pitch to hit, most times he's not missing it.
Fielder belted a 3-run homer last night, which completely changed the complexion of the game. At the time, it was 4-0 San Francisco. There were 2 outs in the inning and 2 strikes on Fielder, and he hit a 3-run shot off Barry Zito that brought the Crew right back into it. That's a shot off the foot right at Renteria, and the inning is going to end at second base. Fielder smokes it. Nothing to show for it, though. Families, but especially on Sunday, and they're still filing in. Another huge crowd expected for the final game of this series with the Giants. The Mets will be here tomorrow as this 9-game homestand continues. Scoreless as we head to the second. Nate Schierholtz leads off. He was on the wrong end of one of the best catches we've seen all year in baseball last night. Mike Cameron robbing Nate Schierholtz of a home run in the 7th inning last night. And he lines one to left. Braun cuts it off and will hold Schierholtz to a single.
It's amazing when you watch Mike Cameron on an everyday basis how easy he makes catches like that look. Nate Schierholtz hit one into deep center field. Cameron going back, gliding back, and a perfectly timed leap made the catch. A tremendous center fielder that makes everything look pretty easy.
Leadoff base runner against Suppan, and it's Travis Ishikawa in his first full season in the big leagues. Ishikawa is a slick fielding first baseman and has held his own offensively in his first full season. Has 4 homers, 20 RBIs. This Giants club, they do not hit a lot of home runs. You wouldn't know it by this series. Giants have hit 3 homers in this series, all by Sandoval. 47 home runs as a team this year. That compares to the Brewers' 87. But they play half their games in a pitcher-friendly ballpark in San Francisco.
Well, most of their hitters are right-handed, particularly their power guys, and to hit them out in left field in that ballpark, very difficult.
Suppan has an excellent move to first. He's already nabbed a couple of would-be base stealers this year.
And very quick feet for Soup. Able to get that ball, and it throws right on the money.
And just the threat of a possible pickoff keeps a better double play opportunity available for Suppan because of his great move. And for a ground ball pitcher, that is most important in a spot like this.
And catchers certainly appreciate a guy that's willing to hold runners close. Makes their job a lot easier.
Two balls, no strikes on Ishikawa. 3-0. Ishikawa has been one of the hotter Giants hitters lately. His last 25 games, all 4 of his home runs have occurred. A .329 hitter over those 25 games with 4 homers, 11 RBIs. And he walks on 4 straight. So 2 on to start this second inning.
Fans, elect your favorite Brewers to the 2009 All-Star team. Vote early, vote often, and vote Brewers now through July 2nd. Only on Brewers.com. You can go elsewhere to vote, but why? Go to Brewers.com.
Yeah, why would you? 25 times per email account. And that voting will end on July 2nd. So you still have some time, but make your votes count. Trying to send as many Brewers as possible to the Midsummer Classic. Looks like Ryan Braun is headed as an outfield starter once again for the 2nd consecutive season. All-Star game at St. Louis this year on the 14th. Cardinals will have a couple of All-Stars. Pujols and Yadier Molina leading the voting right now at their positions. And the Cardinals making a huge trade last night in the division that is going to have big effect on the division as well. Mark DeRosa acquired by the Cardinals from the Indians.
And no telling where he's going to play. He can play anywhere. He can play third base. He can play second in the outfield. A very versatile player. He'll play every day, probably somewhere different. You don't know.
Now with Khalil Green struggling at third base, you would imagine DeRosa would play third base more than anywhere. But certainly a versatile chip for Tony La Russa. Bunted foul by Renteria. This came down last night. Trade that the Indians and the Cardinals have been working on.
And really didn't give up a whole lot either, did they? Chris Perez, he's got a good arm out of the bullpen and a player to be named later. That's not a whole lot for Mark DeRosa. That guy certainly could be a difference maker in this division.
DeRosa among league leaders in the American League in home runs and RBIs. Giants will face the Cardinals tomorrow. Lincecum pitches against St. Louis tomorrow. And DeRosa already in the lineup and hitting 4th for St. Louis right away.
Had a pretty good series against the Brewers in Cleveland. Hit some homers.
Mm-hmm. Two balls, 2 strikes on Edgar Renteria. Renteria holds the distinction as the final at-bat in 2 different World Series. He won the World Series with a base hit for the Florida Marlins in '97, and then he was the final out while playing for the Cardinals against the Red Sox in '04. First year with the Giants. Suppan sends one high and tight. Kendall wants to know if he swung.
I don't think he swung. A good try, though, by Jason. I don't think this pitch was all that close, was it? It really didn't look like it was that close. I think Renteria diving toward the outside corner. That's why it appeared to him as though it was going to hit him.
Full count with 2 on. A single and a walk. Runners take off, and Renteria fouls it away. Well, this is developing into a dangerous inning for Jeff Suppan. Leadoff single by Shearholtz, and then he walks Ishikawa on 4 straight.
And when Soup doesn't really have his pinpoint control, sometimes that happens early in the ball game. He can run up that pitch count quite a bit. He's not willing to throw the ball down the middle. Got to be on the corners, down in the strike zone. Not willing to give in. And sometimes that pitch count can get away from him.
Pick off at second. Close play. Just back is Shearholtz.
Yeah, the reverse daylight play. Second baseman kind of inches over. And they get that signal, a timing play. They spin and they get there at the same time. The ball into Casey McGee. Pretty good throw by Soup.
3-2, runners go, and Renteria drives one into left. Braun's got a long way to go, and he can't get it. And then one hops out of here. That'll be a ground rule double. A runner's in for the Giants. Shearholtz will score. Ishikawa sent back to third base. RBI double for Renteria. 1-0 San Fran.
Fastball right down the middle of the plate, and Renteria hits it pretty well into left field. No chance for Brawny. Renteria, a battle that he won. Saw a lot of pitches, got the fastball up, and the ground rule double, at least for now, saves the run.
And 3 straight batters have reached. A single, a walk, and a double. Second and third, nobody out. And Matt Downs at the plate. He flares one. Fielder gives chase. Can't run it down. Suppan had a quick first inning. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of ground outs. Got his hands full here in the second.
I guess if you're Jeff Suppan, your goal here is to keep Renteria from scoring. You don't want to try and be too fine and keep the man from at third base from scoring. There's nobody out. It'd be a miracle if he kept him from scoring. Of course, the Brewers were able to do that last night. Second and third, nobody out. Giants didn't get a run. That was in the second inning.
No, and it's a part of the order that does not have a lot of major league experience. The next 3 guys up all start of the year in AAA. Key batter right here, though, Matt Downs. The 0-2. He lays off. Downs in his first year in the big leagues. 25-year-old had his contract purchased from AAA just a couple of weeks ago. Struck him out. Suppan gets a big out as he strikes out Matt Downs.
Yeah, good curveball. That's a pitch that's been pretty good for him in his last 3 starts. Gets ahead. Look at the break on that curveball. It wasn't down, but I think it was the speed that got Downs out in front.
Well, now Suppan will go to work against Eli Whiteside. Whiteside in there for Benji Molina today behind the plate. Another guy who was promoted in the middle of the season. He was brought up from AAA at the end of May. The pitcher due up next. Hit him. Suppan drills him. And the bases are loaded.
Yeah, drilled him with a curveball, though. I mean, not intentional, just a breaking pitch getting away from him, and he got the bases loaded now, but the pitcher coming up got him right where you want to get hit, right in the backside.
Plenty of cushion. Well, if you get a ground ball here, that's not all bad, is it? had a base open at first. Sadowski had 3 hits down in AAA. He was 3 for 12 as a hitter. He did have a couple of RBIs though, and he bunts, fouls it away.
Yeah, safety squeeze. Ishikawa wasn't running on the delivery. You drop down the bunt. Of course, if he gets the ball down, you got to go with the bases loaded. Apparently not too confident in his ability to swing the bat. Surprised everybody.
The Brewers looking for a ground ball here to turn a double play and end the inning. Suppan throws a dart right on the outside corner. Sadowski's first major league at bat, and it comes with the bases loaded. Got a piece. Two hits, a walk, and a hit batter in this inning against Suppan. And the Giants have given Sadowski a 1-0 lead early. 1-2. He's laying off some tough pitches. Makes you feel like he's got the take going on.
Yeah, sliders back to back, just misses the corner. Well, you got to get it done right here if you're Suppan. And you don't want to go to 3-2, that's for sure. Got ahead of him 0-2, a couple of sliders, and Sadowski lays off. He might be taking. Who's Bochy might not want him to swing the bat. Trying to avoid the double play ball.
Well, maybe not.
That's why he bunted. Not a very good hack.
So 2 outs, second strikeout for Suppan. He laid off 2 mean sliders from Suppan, and then
that was ball 4.
Swings
actually ball 3.
Swings in one, down and out.
Yeah.
And probably feeling fortunate he did swing and miss, because that had ground ball written all over it. Well, Suppan with 2 outs, but a dangerous hitter coming up in Randy Wynn. Wynn's batting average at .262 to start the day, but has been a .300 hitter 3 of his last 4 years. Back at the top of the lineup today, Aaron Rowand has been leading off for the Giants. Rowand a day off today, so it's Wynn back in the top spot. Randy Wynn going with the sunglasses and the eye black today. Plenty of glare during the daytime at Miller Park.
Plenty of style points too.
Came back with a fastball. Ball and a strike on Wynn. Wynn has been hitting second in this Giants lineup behind Rowan. Had 2 hits yesterday. 2 for 5 at the plate. Wynn was 0-4 in the opener, 0 for 4.
Brewers have had success against Wynn in this series on curveballs. Curveballs down in the zone. That's why Soup threw that last one. You just got to avoid being in a fastball count to this club. Most of the damage that they've done has come on the fastball when they're ahead in the count or early in the count, first pitch.
Let's see what Suppan has in mind in a 2-1 count. Bases loaded for the Giants, and Suppan misses. 3 balls and a strike. And now Suppan will be forced to come after Randy Wynn. Not a good spot to be in for Jeff Suppan.
The definition of a fastball count. 3-1, bases loaded.
Wynn leads the Giants with a .329 batting average with runners in scoring position. And he rips that one. That's a foul ball by inches. Yikes. That would have scored 3.
Looked like Soup took just enough off of that one. Maybe a BP fastball had Wynn just a bit out in front. Hooked it foul, not by much. Maybe a width of the baseball.
Crowd trying to help out their starting pitcher. 3-2, 2 outs. All 3 runners will get a head start. And Wynn fouls it away. Suppan has thrown 32 pitches in this inning. One to nothing Giants. Renteria doubled home Shearholtz. First 3 batters reached. Suppan a chance to get out of it with no further damage, however. Wynn hit .306 last year for the Giants. He and Benji Molina, one of the few bright spots offensively for a struggling team at the plate a season ago. A team that only won 72 games last year. Set for another 3-2. The runners take off, and Suppan walks him. A bases loaded walk. And it's 2-0 Giants.
Now 2 good battles in this inning, both won by the Giants. Renteria, the double in the middle part of this inning, and now that walk by Randy Wynn. High pitch count at bats. Soup just couldn't put him away. That pitch didn't miss by much.
And a quick trip to the mound coming from Bill Castro, the Brewers pitching coach. The Giants will send up their 8th man in the inning to bat.
It's one of those things we were talking about when Soup doesn't have his good command and struggling with his command, putting the ball where he wants to. It's going to be a high pitch count situation because he's not willing to give in. He's kind of the anti-Trevor Hoffman. Remember yesterday in the 9th inning? I think it was 8 batters against Hoffman in that 9th, and it was about 17 pitches.
That's right.
They were jumping on him early.
Now, and the concern in a spot like this, not just with the scoreboard, but defensively, your fielders, they've been standing around a long time now. There were 3 miscues defensively in Suppan's last start. That led to 3 unearned runs. Lewis pops it up and back in the seats, reaching out for one. Now Lewis can do big damage here. If he should reach, that would bring Sandoval to the plate. 2 runs are in for San Francisco. And you just as soon have this guy lead off next inning. You don't want him up with men on base. Strike, good pitch. 0-2 the count.
I'm not sure what Lewis is looking for. Maybe it was that first pitch curveball that Lewis saw that had him really second guessing himself as a look for a fastball, because that one right down the middle.
Oh, 2 to Lewis. Bases loaded for the Giants. Lewis has struggled at the plate lately and has had a hard time finding playing time, making his first start of the series here today.
Yeah, he was the number 3 hitter when the Brewers opened the season. He's only got 10 RBIs. Haven't been able to produce too many runs.
Missed with a curveball, and it's 2-2. So Suppan with 38 pitches in this inning. And an action pitch coming up. You know, Suppan does not want to get to a full count again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bases loaded. And Lewis sharply. Hardy knocks it down, throws to second wildly. Suppan's backing up, though, and only 1 run scores.
A great play by J.J. Hardy to keep that ball in the infield. It would have scored another run. Tried to make the miraculous play, but a good job by Suppan backing it up at second base. That kept Whiteside at third. Well, this ball was ticketed into center field, but look at J.J. fully stretched out. Thought he might have had a play, but Suppan in good shape to back it up.
Well, that play by Hardy saves the second run. But unfortunately, Suppan is going to have to deal with Pablo Sandoval here, the 9th man in the inning to bat. A torturous inning for Jeff Suppan. And now San Francisco's best hitter is up there with the bases loaded.
And the last thing Ken Maka needs is a short start. He got one yesterday. Seth McClung only able to go 4 innings. You got to get more out of Suppan, and that pitch count is a bit dangerous at this point.
Three runs are in for the Giants. Chris Narveson starts throwing here in the second inning. And Ken Maka's worst case scenario. One ball, 1 strike. 1-2. Took something off, and Sandoval a little bit ahead of it.
Yeah, over a swing on the fastball right down the middle, as you talked about, that BP fastball, the dead fish, a little bit out in front.
Sandoval with 11 home runs, 3 of those coming in this series. And the 1-2 pitch lined into right. Corey Hart is there. Well, 3 runs scored, but the Brewers dodge a much bigger bullet.
Ninth inning, there were a lot of good at-bats, but none probably bigger than Corey Hart, who snapped a 0-for-19 streak with his RBI single in that 9th inning. And we've seen it earlier this month. Corey Hart slumping, he'll come back. It'll take 1 at-bat, and he'll reel off a 10-game hitting streak. And hopefully last night is the start of something today, and we'll see how it carries over, guys.
All right, Telly, thanks a lot. The Brewers Played catch up last night. They'll have to do the same today. Down 3-0. Suppan faces 9 batters in the second inning, gives up 3 runs on 3 hits. He walked a batter and hit a batter. Casey McGee leads off. He'll be followed by Cameron and then Hart. McGee comes in at .340. Leads all National League rookies in batting to start the day. Not a bad idea. At least it gets the attention of Pablo Sandoval over at third base.
Yeah, shorten him up a little bit, but Sandoval not biting. He's back even further now. And you can see Sadowski not overpowering. He doesn't throw all that hard, relies on command. He did have a rather high walk total down in the minor leagues, down in AAA, 32 walks, 72 in the third innings.
Into right, well hit, but right at Shearholtz, and McGee lines out for out number 1. Now Mike Cameron stepping up. And how about the play he made last night? Home Depot doing more on defense. The best of the year right there.
Yeah, it's all about instincts and hard work at a young age for Mike Cameron. Being able to put himself in a perfect position to make that leap. You know, it seems as though Cameron, I talked to Eddie Cedar before the ball game today about Cameron and his ability to pretty much know or anticipate where the ball is going to be coming down. A lot of times he's going to turn his back on a baseball. Didn't that time. Sometimes the ball's hit, he turns his back, instinctively knows where that ball is going to come down, and that comes from working hard in batting practice every day, taking balls off the bat. It's just amazing how easy he makes a play like that look.
And the patience that he shows, timing his jump and making sure he is at his highest with his jump at the point of impact with the wall.
Never panics on any ball hit into the outfield. He kind of knows where it's going to be.
And Cameron rips one to center field, a base hit. Cameron is such a student of the game. I think that's what gets the most respect from his teammates. Ryan Braun called Mike Cameron the best teammate he has ever had. And he spends a lot of time working at his craft.
He cares about his teammates. He helps them any way he can, anytime. And he's very good with us. He really is. You know, you pin him down at the batting cage, you ask him questions, he'll take time and give you the information that you're looking for. Just a good all-around guy, and I think that's not just the Brewers that say that about Cameron. Everywhere you go, they love him.
Yesterday, we spent 15 minutes with Mike Cameron talking about his sunglasses. He has this case of sunglasses. We were just kind of, joking around with him. Hey, which ones you going with today? But he's got it down to a science.
Yeah.
Which sunglasses he goes with on, depending, the weather conditions, the sun, the clouds, what time of day is it.
And he'll change them throughout the day, particularly here at Miller Park when the shadows start creeping along the grounds. What's he got, the amber ones on right now?
Cameron was telling us, and I didn't realize this, but his right eye doesn't dilate properly after that collision he had. He's had 2 incidents in his career that have affected his vision at times. He was involved in a collision down in AA when he was coming up in the White Sox system, and then he had that collision with Beltran when Cameron was playing for the Mets. So his right eye doesn't dilate like most others do, which is why he depends on the sunglasses and why he knows so much about the different kinds of shades that he wears in particular sun conditions.
Yeah, every one of them are for something different. Some certain cloud cover, things like that you talked about.
Corey Hart draws the walk. Good at bat. Telly was talking about Hart last night, and many feel it was one of the best at bats Corey Hart has ever had against a dangerous pitcher in Wilson.
It was certainly the at bat of the night for the Brewers in that bottom of the 9th inning. Wilson got ahead of him very quickly. Corey able to lay off some tough sliders that just missed. Pitches that Corey from time to time will have a tough time laying off of.
Is it just me, or is Kendall missing an arm in that bobblehead?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. He's going to be all right, though. He's a gamer. That's why he catches so much. He can play through injury. Kendall's bobblehead day today, and he steps up with 2 on and 1 man out. Now Kendall, the key hitter in this sequence. If he makes it out, Suppan is the next hitter. And a chance for Sadowski to get out of the inning. If Kendall can do some damage, then the Brewers are in business here in the second. Two men aboard for Kendall. A bouncer. Diving stop by Sandoval to second for one. They turn a double play. Wow. 5-4-3 double play. Sandoval is doing it all in this series. The Kung Fu Panda wipes out a Brewers rally. By Blaine's Farm and Fleet. You'll always find value at your local Farm and Fleet. By Piggly Wiggly. Shop the pig and save. And by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin. Big crowd on hand today at Miller Park on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Milwaukee. Temperatures in the low 80s as we start play today. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Nate Shearholtz leads off down the line, slicing foul in the seats.
Very impressive, Pablo Sandoval, and his ability to play third base in this series. Giants a little bit concerned about that coming out of spring training, whether he was going to be able to play enough defense to be an everyday player. But he's done a very good job. That was a heck of a play.
The double play that ended the inning.
Could have been a base hit, but end of inning. I would imagine Sadowski didn't have defense like that down in AAA.
Hardy takes a tough hop and retires Shearholtz. One gone here in this third inning.
One of the reasons why some pitchers will tell you it's easier at the big league level than it is in the minor leagues, because you have such good defense. That's the biggest difference between AAA and the big leagues, the defense. I mean, hitters will tell you that it's tougher to get hits. And pitchers will tell you that you very rarely get tremendous defensive plays on a daily basis like the one Cameron made last night.
That's right. Bouncer in the hole. McGee ranging over, sets and fires. Good play, Casey McGee. He's been hobbled by a knee injury, a little tendonitis in the knee, so not running all that well, but able to track that one down for out number 2. And that leads us to our carsoup.com email the booth question. Ben in Saukville wants to know, how is Manny Parra doing in AAA? Manny's pitching well, and he's going to get a few more starts down there. No return is on the table yet for the Brewers concerning Manny Parra, but he's pitched well in 2 games. How about this inning? Suppan just whistles right through the Giants' order. in the third.
At Bat 2009 features play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcast. Visit Brewers.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch today.
3-0 Giants. They lead the Brewers. We head to the third inning, bottom of the third here. Suppan leads off. And then the top of the order, Gamble, then Hardy. Now, Suppan has been swinging the bat well this season. He has 5 hits and 21 at-bats. That's a .238 batting average. Bounces that one. Sandoval takes it in the belly. Not an easy play for the out.
You know, Soup's always been a guy that has been good at dropping down bunts, but never has really been able to collect a base hit. So it's kind of surprising how well he has been at the plate this year. He's got 3 walks. You mentioned 5 base hits. Hit that one right on the nose.
Well, Ryan Sadowski pitched out of a jam last inning. 2 on with 1 out, but Kendall grounding into the double play to end the frame on a terrific play by Sandoval. Back at the top of the order. Second time through the order for Sadowski. Gamble has never hit leadoff in his life, he says. And was a little bit surprised to see his name in the leadoff spot here today.
Yeah, I talked to him in the dugout before batting practice. Kind of a funny story. I said, when's the last time you hit leadoff? He said, today will be the first. He normally walks into the clubhouse, and just to the right as you walk through the front door, the lineup's posted. And ordinarily, Gamble's going to train his eyes on the bottom half of that batting order. Didn't see his name, kind of started to walk up dejected as though, you know, I'm not playing today, but for some reason turned around, got his eyes up a little further and was kind of surprised, not kind of, but very surprised that he was leading off today. So he went from thinking he wasn't playing to leading off. Talk about a shock to the system.
A whole different set of circumstances at that point. And sometimes that lineup, you know, is not 100%. Yesterday, there was an imposter who put a lineup up there that had Seth McClung batting 7th because McClung likes to swing the bat, fashions himself a good hitter. So I'm sure there was a little bit of doubt in Gamble's mind that he was actually leading off.
Yeah, Seth's got a lot of confidence in his ability to hit. Let's put it that way. So somebody messing with him.
But nope, the lineup that Gamble saw was the lineup posted by Ken Maka today. One, 2, 3 inning for Sadowski. And it's still 3-0 San Francisco as we head to the 4th. coverage begins Tuesday, July 14th, live from St. Louis at 7 Central, only on Fox. And the Brewers hope to have a number of participants in that All-Star game. Prince Fielder says if he is chosen as an All-Star that he will participate in the Home Run Derby. That'll be a lot of fun. Albert Pujols has stated that he will participate in the Home Run Derby as well.
Yeah, I wrote 28 long balls already this year. How about him?
Yeah, a couple yesterday.
Man.
Downs bounces one over to Gamble. And one gone for Suppan here in this 4th inning. Time now for our U.S. Cellular text to vote. Fans bringing their own questions here today. What is your favorite Brewers logo? 234-234 is the number. W for the ball and glove. And already Xing that one out is Rock, and the Y for the current logo.
That one didn't last very long.
I'm partial to the ball and glove logo myself. Just a genius logo is what that is.
Yeah.
I think it cost him just a couple grand, $2,000 for that logo. A college student.
Took me about 7 years playing with the Brewers to realize that's an M and a B.
And a ball and a glove. Broken bat roller to Gamble. Suppan has 2 up and 2 down. How about our Aflac trivia today, Rock? The Giants played in the first interleague game in 1997. They played the Rangers. Who had the first hit? So Giants Rangers, first interleague hit. And its inception in 97. It has been a big hit in baseball. It's created some great rivalries. This is the only National League game going on. This is the only non-interleague game in baseball, I should say. Great interleague rivalries this weekend. Sadowski with a base hit. The Giants pitcher with his first major league hit in his second at bat.
Boy, starting out to be a day to remember for Sadowski. Pitching pretty well, got a hit. Boy, his first at bat didn't look like he was ever going to be able to even make contact. Got one up in the zone and banged it into center field.
There's where our U.S. Cellular question came from today, by the way. See, we're all for fan participation.
They even give you the number.
They did. Look at that. 234-234. All right. Top of the order, Randy Wynn. Suppan threw 43 pitches in the second inning. Just 4 pitches last inning. And trying to make it another quick inning here in the 4th. And he went. Wynn unable to check his swing. Ball and a strike to the Giants leadoff hitter. Wynn walked with the bases loaded in the second. Part of that 3-run Giants inning. 3 runs on 3 hits. 2 walks and a hit batter in that inning as well. I think the Brewers very fortunate though. 3 runs is a lot to give up, but Sandoval hit a shot to right field, a line drive out with the bases loaded to end the inning.
Plus JJ saved the run, knocking the ball down up the middle. Brewers came from behind last night down 4 runs. 3 runs is nothing.
Ball and 2 strikes on Randy Wynn. Struck him out. Suppan threw him a breaking ball. And a scoreless 4th for Jeff Suppan. 3-0 San Francisco. The big boys are coming up for the Brewers. Braun, Fielder, and McGee. Stay with us.
Grammy Award-winning artist Usher and his New Look Foundation to host a bowl-a-thon on Thursday, August 27th at Pinstripes Bowling in Glendale, Wisconsin. The proceeds raised will allow 12 Milwaukee youth to attend Usher's Camp New Look in Atlanta. Sponsorships and spectator tickets are now available. For more information, call 414-902-4532 or visit brewers.com/Cameron, guys.
All right, Telly, thanks a lot. We wish Mike Cameron the best of luck, joining up with Usher for that event. 3-0. The Giants lead the Brewers in front of a capacity crowd on a Sunday afternoon at Miller Park. And a guy making his major league debut is having a pretty good day so far. Ryan Sadowski, 3 scoreless innings, and has a hit as well. His first major league hit came last inning. Braun, Fielder, and McGee, 3, 4, and 5 in the Brewers order.
Yeah, Brewers have been notorious this year. Or their pattern has been, better said, that early offense isn't something that they do a whole lot of. They have been very good at coming from behind and winning ball games. Last night, a good example. They did it twice. 23 come from behind victories for the Brewers. I'd like to see them get on the board early in games a little bit more often, but no need to panic.
Ball and 2 strikes to Braun. Count evens at 2-2. Sadowski with a 5-2 record down in AAA Fresno. Made 13 starts down there and a 4.11 earned run average. Good numbers for the Pacific Coast League, known as a hitter's league. A bouncer out to second. Downs takes care of Braun for out number 1. Powerball home run leaderboard. Prince Fielder with his 19th last night. He leads all Brewers. Fielder and Braun continue to set the pace. Ryan has 16 on the year, both inside the top 10 in the National League. Giants got 3 runs in the second, and they still lead 3-0 with Fielder batting and 1 away. And last night Fielder stepped up, 2 on, delivered a 3-run homer, and that was the last batter that Barry Zito faced.
And not a lot of margin for error for pitchers trying to bust Fielder in with fastball. Left that one out over the plate just enough for Prince to get the big part of the bat on it, get the Brewers right back in it. Same thing happened in the 9th. Although that was a slider from Wilson. He tried to get down and in, left it up, and Prince whistled it, literally whistled it down the right field line, able to keep it fair.
There's a base hit to right. So Prince Fielder with the Brewers' second hit of the afternoon.
He's hitting everything hard right now. Last time up he hit the ball hard, right on the nose. Trying to come inside again. Nothing doing. Left it out over the plate. Dangerous spot to miss with Prince up.
See those shadows creeping out. Casey McGee lines one. Left field. Well hit. Back is Lewis. And it's off his glove. Fielder headed to third. McGee into second. Lewis had it briefly.
That's got to be a double. That ball ticketed for the gap. Lewis with good speed able to get there. Looked like it was in his glove for a brief second and then fell out. Like Casey McGee just continues to center everything. Fastball down the middle. Nice easy stroke. Not a lot of movement in that swing in his pre-swing setup, and hits a rocket. On the fly, Fred Lewis not able to hold on.
McGee has hit the ball sharply twice. He lined out his first time up, and now a double. And it's Mike Cameron trying to deliver the first Brewer runs of the afternoon. Double number 10 for McGee. Breaking ball strike. Sadowski in trouble really for the first time. He did have 2 on in the second inning, but that was first and second with 1 out, and he got a double play to end it. This time around, the Brewers with 2 in scoring position for Cameron. Casey McGee not running all that well, so it's not a sure bet he'll score on a base hit. Good play back there by Whiteside.
Yeah, these two guys, the pitcher and catcher, know each other pretty well. 2 years together in the minor leagues, actually a year plus. Whiteside got called up in May. And it's got to help a kid making his major league debut with a familiar face behind home plate.
Corey Hart would be next, and Sadowski and Whiteside want to talk it over. A single and a double with 1 out in this inning. Fielder singled, McGee doubled. And Cameron a chance to drive in some runs. Cameron had a hit his last time up. And that one skips away from Whiteside. Fielder won't chance it. It's 2 pretty good plays by the San Francisco catcher.
Yeah, the second one much tougher than the first. Sadowski threw that a little harder, a little bit quicker break, and a little bit further outside. See the way he squares that right shoulder up to the pitcher and keeping it close.
And most of the time, as long as you keep it in front of you somewhere, even if it glances off to the right, it's going to keep the base runner where he is. Cameron off the end of the bat. Fielder's coming to the plate. And now Princeton a rundown. And Fielder is out. So the Giants get a lead out. Fielder cut down.
Now the Brewers going on contact. The infield was back. Anything but to the third baseman, a run would have scored. So the Giants execute the rundown to perfection, not allowing any of the runners to advance. Casey McGee has to stay at second base. That's the goal of a rundown. You get the out without allowing the other base runners to get to the next base.
So McGee still at second, Cameron at first on the fielder's choice, and it's going to be up to Corey Hart with 2 away. And Hart pops it up to left. So the Brewers strand 2 more. Fail to score. Still 3-0 Giants. To nothing as we head to the 5th. Brewers have had some opportunities here. But Ryan Sadowski in his major league debut has held him in check. Our Aflac trivia question today: the Giants played in the first interleague game in '97 versus Texas. Who had the first hit in the first interleague game? And the answer is Darrell Hamilton, former Brewer, now works for Major League Baseball. Saw Darrell Hamilton last year down in Houston. Usually we run into Darrell down in Houston. He lives there and works out of Texas for the Major League Baseball operations down in Texas. It's always good to see Hambone.
Yeah. Got a pretty good golf swing, don't you think?
He does. Left-handed.
Yeah.
Fred Lewis leads off. Suppan trying to continue to stay sharp here. He's had three good innings today around a rough second. Suppan giving up 3 runs on 3 hits in the second. Lewis had an RBI infield hit in that second inning. And he lines that one to left. Braun going back. He's got it. Ice Age: Dawn of the Dinosaurs is hatched in theaters July 1st. It's the coolest comedy of the summer. One gone for Suppan. And here is Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval fast becoming one of those hitters you look out for. You make sure you're in front of the television when he steps up to the plate. And he lines that one into right. Corey Hart won't get there. That's going to go to the wall. Some kind of hitter, Sandoval, just 22 years of age. I mean, he is swinging the bat like a 10-year veteran.
He hits everything hard, and you really don't know. If you're Jason Kendall back behind home plate, you're just not sure what to throw this guy and when, because he hits everything. That ball that he hit out against Smith yesterday, incredible. Looked like a slider. Smith today said it was a changeup going down and in. Hit it out of the ballpark. Got the fastball out over the plate by Suppan and rips it into right field. Gets hits on balls down around his toes. He gets hits on balls around his letters. Hits everything.
Young Venezuelan, quite a talent with a bat in his hands. And he's been impressive at third base as well in this series. Sandoval was a left-handed thrower, but he idolized Ozzie Guillen growing up. He wanted to be a shortstop. So he just started as a young kid. He started to throw right-handed. He can throw right-handed and left-handed, and he's a switch hitter.
Yeah, Sandoval in 41 games last year with the Giants hit .345. So he burst onto the scene last year, did a pretty good job. 41 games, drove in 24 runs.
And all spring you talk to those who cover the Giants, they tell you Sandoval's got a chance to win a batting title. Here's a 22-year-old guy, you know, first year in the big leagues, and you're thinking that's pretty high praise. But the more you watch him, the more you realize he certainly does have a chance to win a batting title.
And particularly because he's a switch hitter, too. I mean, that helps him. Pretty good from both sides of the plate, too. Actually, a better hitter right-handed with respect to batting average, hitting almost 400.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Nate Shearholtz. And he lines one. Oh, what a play by Hardy. Can he finish? Not in time. Fielder tried to dig it out of there. Shearholtz beats it down the line, but it saves a run. That'll be an infield hit for Shearholtz. He stays hot at the plate, and the Giants have runners at the corners with 1 away.
And a couple of plays by J.J. Hardy that aren't going to show up in the box score. He has now saved 2 runs. He certainly saved a run in the second inning, and with that play, Suppan has the opportunity to get the double play ball, get out of the inning. What a play by J.J. 2 times now today.
So 1 out, and it's Travis Ishikawa. Ishikawa walked and scored in the second inning. Now the Mets will be here tomorrow. First game of a 3-game series with New York. Don't forget, tomorrow's start time is an hour earlier. Officially, it's a 6:08 first pitch. If you have tickets to the game, your tickets will say 7:05, but that game has been moved up an hour to accommodate national television. We'll be on the air at 5:30 for Brewers Live. Johan Santana scheduled to pitch on Tuesday against Mike Burns. It's Fernando Nieve tomorrow, Rock, a hard-throwing right-hander who is 3-0 for the Mets this year.
Well, pitching pretty good for the Mets this year. Well, upper half in earned run average. A couple of strikeout guys going against the Brewers in the first 2 games.
The Mets play tonight at home against the Yankees. So they'll be in Milwaukee very late.
And Brewer pitching staff have to deal with the top 2 in batting average in the National League in back-to-back series. David Wright and Sandoval, both third basemen.
Yeah, Wright, the National League's leading hitter, coming into play today. 1 ball, 1 strike on Ishikawa. 2-1. Ishikawa from the Seattle area, from Federal Way, Washington. Kind of right there between Seattle and Tacoma. Had big power numbers last year in the minor leagues. Between AA and AAA in the big leagues, he had 27 home runs. Hasn't shown that kind of power at the major league level yet, but there are many who feel Ishikawa is going to be a power hitter. They liken him to an Adrian Gonzalez type player. Excellent defender, just 25 years of age.
It's not often a guy's going to get to the big leagues in his rookie year and start knocking home runs like Prince Fielder was able to do, Albert Pujols, Mark McGwire. Sometimes it takes a while to get that power. You got to learn how to hit this level. It's a little bit different than in the minor leagues.
Three balls and a strike on Ishikawa. Giants have runners at the corners and a ground ball base hit. Another run is in. 4-0 San Francisco. Ishikawa with his first hit. And Suppan in trouble once again.
And nobody getting loose in that Brewer bullpen right now. There was some activity early on in the second inning. Suppan getting the pitch outer half, but a little bit up in the zone. Ishikawa able to sneak it back through the middle and into center field. JJ not able to knock that one down. I don't think it would have mattered anyway.
Suppan giving up the 3 runs in the second. Had a 4-pitch inning in the third. Much needed 4-pitch inning as DeFelice begins to get loose. Because the Brewers score so many runs and have that comeback ability, it really affects the way Maka uses his bullpen in spots like this. Sometimes you need a guy to, it's not a safe situation, but it can be even when you're in the 5th inning of a ball game. Brewers can't afford to get down by any more than they are right now. 4-0 Giants with Renteria at the plate.
Yeah, with as explosive an offense as the Brewers have, with all the home runs that they can hit, never really out of a game, but an extra base hit here, you're down 6-0, then you start worrying. No time to panic yet.
The Brewers were down 4-0 yesterday. Until the 6th, they scored 4 runs, all with 2 outs in the 6th inning to tie it. Fielder and McGee with home runs in that inning. Soup needs a ground ball. And the free swinging Renteria chases one. Two balls and a strike on Renteria. He doubled home a run back in the 2nd inning. It's 1 for 2 against Suppan. That one's hit hard, but right at Gamble. Chance for 2 here. And a 5-3 double play. Just what Suppan needed. The Giants get a run, but only 1. And the Brewers down 4 as we head to the home 5th. Rewind. It's time to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. Well, beautiful afternoon here in Milwaukee. The Brewers trailing 4-0, however, trying to scratch some runs across against Ryan Sadowski, making his major league debut here today. And the trend is continuing with the Brewers against those making their major league debuts. It's not a good trend.
No.
Brewers are 0-3 against starting pitchers who have made their debut this year. Sadowski, 26 years of age.
No, to start by Sadowski, no team in the major leagues has only used 5 starters. They were the last. Actually, the Brewers and the Giants were the last 2 teams.
Yeah, when the Brewers used Mike Burns earlier on this homestand against Minnesota, that took them out of that picture. And the Giants sending Jonathan Sanchez to the bullpen. Another ground out. One gone for Sadowski. He's got a lot of outs on the ground in this game today. Time now for our Diggers Hotline. Digging up the archive. Randy Johnson's 300th win came earlier this year on June 4th in Washington. And will we ever see another 300 game winner? That is the big question in baseball.
going to be tough. It really is.
Glavine, a 300 game winner 2 years ago. Randy Johnson, the latest to do it. And with the way pitch counts are these days, and with the way the 5-man rotation is, it's tough for a pitcher to have a long enough career to achieve 300 wins in this generation. Suppan back up the middle off the glove of Sadowski. He's hustling, and Sadowski gets his man. 2 outs.
It's only been 3 fly ball outs off the bats of the Brewers so far today. That's how good Sadowski's been with that sinking fastball. And using a lot of them, shows his athleticism. This guy is 6'4", moving around pretty well. And today's Tavern of the Game winner is Kramer's Brown Jug in Athelstane. I had to look at that one a couple of times. Athelstane, Wisconsin. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, I have no idea where that is, by the way. They get 40 tickets to a 2009 Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Athelstane, huh?
I'm going to look it up. I'm kind of curious.
Got to get a locale on that, because Matt Gamble bats with 2 away. Well, when Mike Faulkner doesn't know where it is, then I feel better about the situation. He usually knows. He's usually been in every corner pub in every town in Wisconsin. Apparently not Athelstane, though.
No.
Three balls, no strikes to Gamble. Gamble's 0 for 2. In his first game ever as a leadoff hitter. That's been the one spot that has been tough to fill for Ken Maka since Ricky Weeks went on the disabled list. Gamble draws the walk on 4 straight, so the Brewers have a base runner with Hardy coming up.
After most Sunday home games, kids 16 and under can run the bases at Miller Park. That's compliments of great clips. For information on tickets, call 902-4000 or go to brewers.com.
Bernie's anxious. He's ready to slide. J.J. Hardy with Gamble at first and 2 gone. Well, Rock, if you drive 3.5 hours northbound from Milwaukee, you'll run into.
That doesn't tell me where it is. I know you can't go 3.5 hours east in a car.
Can't go east unless you want to swim.
Let me work on it here. I'll get it. Directly north of Green Bay.
There you go.
And where it is, right up Highway 141. Now I feel better.
As long as we're learning every night, every day, that's all that matters. Hitters count for Hardy. The Brewers have stranded 4 on today. Hardy pops this one up. That's going to get into the seats. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that's one of my favorite things about our Tavern of the Game. Different cities you've never heard of. You check them out. You look where they're at on the map. They're all in Wisconsin, of course.
Hardy lays off. Slider from Sadowski, and it's 3-2. Well, this should be a good spot for Hardy to get a pitch he can handle. You know, Sadowski does not want to bring Braun to the plate with a 4-run lead. 3-2. Gamble takes off. Hardy bounces off Ishikawa, but he recovers in time to get the out. And the side retired. Braun left standing in the on-deck circle. Sadowski is doing a number on the Brewers. 5 shutout in his major league debut. Sports Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery and its family of instant scratch games. Odds are you'll like them. By Airtran. Go. There's nothing stopping you. And by Aflac. We've got you under our wing. Been a quiet day for Bernie up there. The Brewers being shut out on 3 hits by Ryan Sadowski as Jeff Suppan toes the rubber again, pitching in the 6th inning. Suppan, while pitching in the 2nd inning, had bullpen activity, but he got through it. 3 runs scored for the Giants, but Suppan still out there in the 6th. And trying to continue here to give his offense a chance to get it turned around at the plate. Bottom of the order for Suppan, Downs, Whiteside, and the pitcher Sadowski. A 43-pitch 2nd inning for Suppan, followed by a 4-pitch 3rd. And Sup got a key double play last inning. Giants had a run in, 2 on, and just 1 out, but got Renteria, Suppan's former teammate with the Cardinals, to roll into a 5-3 double play to end the inning. That one is well hit down the left field line, and that one's gone. Matt Downs with his first career major league home run. And it's 5-0 San Francisco.
Yep, hanging curveball that time. Downs able to wade back, and the way the ball carries here in the daytime, way back and left. Second deck over the Friday's restaurant. Take it out. Just a hanger, middle in, up around the belt. See you later.
And it has been a day of firsts. So they're able to get that baseball back. That'll be a memento for Matt Downs. His first major league home run gives the Giants a 5-0 lead.
Never forget your first homer. Big day.
A big fly for Downs, who's been in the big leagues less than a month. Now they're probably paying close attention to this game in Fresno today. We have 3 players who started the year in Fresno, the Giants AAA club, performing well in this game. Downs with the home run. Sadowski has 5 shutout. And the man at the plate, Eli Whiteside, doing the catching. Into right center. Cameron back near the wall, runs it down for the out. First out of the inning. The Milwaukee Brewers need your help. If every Brewers fan watching this game votes the maximum 25 times online for your favorite Brewers player, they'll be voted into the 2009 All-Star Game. By voting, you'll also be eligible to win Ryan Braun's suite for a game at Miller Park, complete with a visit from Ryan. So vote Brewers now until July 2nd at Brewers.com. Have you maximized your voting, Rock?
I have.
25 times per email account.
I actually have 2 email accounts. That's what I do between innings.
Not a bad strategy. Well, Braun looks like he's headed there as an all-star starter again. It would be his 2nd consecutive starting nod.
Yeah, got to believe Ryan's going to be there. Prince fielder. Yvonne Gallardo has a pretty good shot at it. Excellent numbers. ERA under 3. Trevor Hoffman.
Now, pitchers will be selected by the manager. Charlie Manuel is the all-star manager of the National League this year. Ryan Braun looking to join Robin Yount as the only Brewers player to start in consecutive All-Star games. Yount did it in '82 and '83. Braun currently second among All-Star outfield voting right now. Sadowski is out, 2 gone in the inning. Raul Ibanez leads all National League outfielders in All-Star voting currently. Ibanez is on the disabled list. Braun has over 2 million votes. Carlos Beltran is third. Got to be in the top 3. They don't do it by position for the All-Star game. It's not left field, center field, and right field. When you get to the outfield, it's just the top 3 outfielders.
It's kind of the way it's working out, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And if it stands with Ibanez, Braun, and Beltran, certainly Beltran would play center field, and then I would imagine you'd keep Braun in left. Or you may move Braun to right. Who knows?
Yeah.
Put Ibanez in left. That's for Charlie Manuel to worry about, right?
Let's first get Ryan there. Make sure we get enough votes to get him in there in that starting lineup. Certainly deserves it.
Ball and a strike to Randy Winn, top of the Giants order. 5-0 San Francisco. And a liner to center. Cameron coming in, takes it on a hop. Randy Winn with his first hit. And Maka has seen enough. Suppan is out with Fred Lewis coming up, the left-hander. Maka is going to make the call to the bullpen. Tough day at the office for Jeff Suppan. Gives up 5 runs to the Giants. Still a runner, his responsibility. We'll take a timeout. We'll set up Chris Narveson when we come back. Need him today. Narveson will try to work through this 6th inning. Another run is in. Narveson in relief of Jeff Suppan. 5-0 Giants as we play in the top of the 6th with 2 outs.
Yeah, Les pitched on Thursday against the Twins. Only pitched a third of an inning. 5th appearance for Narveson. An important part of the batting order for these San Francisco Giants. A couple of left-handers with Pablo Sandoval right in between them.
Suppan goes 5 2/3, 9 hits, gives up 5 runs and 4 earned at this point. So Fred Lewis with 2 outs and a runner at first. And some important innings coming up here for Chris Narveson, who is trying to earn some favor with his manager. Narveson, while eating up some innings here occasionally, has not pitched well. Randy went over at first.
And Narveson has a great opportunity to really stick with this ball club for a while to give Mitch Stetter some time off. You just can't continue every day going to Stetter in situations like this, particularly early in the ball game.
Bullpen has been worked a great deal lately. That trip through the American League really hurt the Brewers bullpen. It seemed like Brewers relievers were in the game in the 4th and 5th inning on a nightly basis. That last road trip, the bullpen was responsible for 17+ innings in a 6-game road trip. That's a lot of innings. Managers live and die with how well they handle a bullpen, and one day leads to the next, and one series leads to the next. I would imagine Ken Maka and Willie Randolph spend more time talking about how to use certain pitchers, when to use certain pitchers, more than anything else. As Narveson strikes out Lewis, the inning ends. Brewers down 5. They got 3 runs in the 2nd inning. Renteria had an RBI double in that inning. Hardy's defense saved a potentially bigger inning in that frame, but the Giants kept the attack on. They got another run in the 5th, and Matt Downs with his first career Major League home run in the 6th. So the Giants lead 5-0. Ryan Sadowski with his Major League debut back on the mound, and the sausage race. Oh, down goes the junior chorizo. It's not all fun and games out there, folks.
It's been a rough homestand for the sausages. It really has.
It really has. And Bernie enjoying every minute of it. There's a line drive off the leg of Sadowski. He's hurt. Braun is aboard, and Sadowski is really hurting on the mound.
Might be the only way to get that kid out of here today. He's pitching so well. A lot of ground ball outs. My goodness. Brewers will only be able to elevate the baseball 3 times. Only 3 fly ball outs. Sadowski has been able to get a lot of grounders. That one a bullet pitch away from him.
Right above the right knee for Sadowski. And it stiffened up on him in a hurry. He could hardly even bend it to pick up the baseball. Trying to walk it off. Braun collects the 4th hit for the Brewers.
That's the push-off leg for the right-handed pitcher, which isn't all that great. But it's a little bit better than that landing leg, where all the pressure, all the weight ends up when you release the baseball.
Justin Miller quickly loosening up. Sadowski's going to have to prove to Bruce Bochy he can continue here. Sadowski seems like he's all right.
About as good as it's going to feel right now. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
Juan Uribe in the game at third base. Andres Torres takes over in center field. Randy Wynn has moved from center to left. So Sandoval is out of the game. And we'll see if we can find out why.
Now Fred Lewis and Sandoval both out. A bit early for a team to be taking out starters. Pretty explosive offense this Brewer club has, particularly after what happened last night.
Fielder with a man on. Braun, a base hit. Prince singled off Sadowski back in the 4th inning. 1 for 2 in this game. He hit a shot for an out in the 1st. He hit a smash off the mound. That slowed it down a little bit and allowed Renteria to make the play. Three balls, no strikes in there for strike 1. Strike 2. Couple of fastballs, 3-2 the count on Fielder. The Brewers have been knocking on the door. He stranded 2 in the 4th inning. Double play ball earlier protected an inning as Fielder drives one to center. Torres is there and he's got it for the out. Boy, Prince has hit a couple of line drives in this game. Well, Brewers Fantasy Camp is coming up and we're excited to get you signed up. Beautiful Maryville Baseball Complex, the spring training home of the Brewers. You get round trip airfare. Get your own personalized Brewers jersey and plenty of great instruction from Brewers legends. Play a doubleheader daily. You got access to the batting cages. Might have to cough up a little cash in the kangaroo court. It's all part of the fun. Brewers Fantasy Camp. You can check it out online.
That nightly happy hour, I think that's what the guys and ladies like most. We do have some women down at Fantasy Camp every year. They like to play baseball too.
Sure. Casey McGee with one away. Another good play back there by Whiteside. Sadowski hit by line drive, but able to continue in this inning. And trying to get Bruce Bochy 6 strong in his major league debut. On one hand, the Brewers not exactly disappointed that the reigning Cy Young Award winner, Tim Lincecum, was not going to start today. But on the other hand, they've had their troubles with pitchers making their major league debut for whatever reason.
And maybe Lincecum things might have worked out a little bit differently. early on. Still plenty of time. And it is amazing, isn't it, though? I mean, 4 major league debuts this year, and Brewers haven't fared all that well. Of course, Hansen, that start with the Atlanta Braves, the Brewers hit him pretty well.
The bouncer, chance for 2. 6-4-3 double play. Sadowski 6 shutout innings in his major league debut. Is presented by Triple Hop Brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. And by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Tundra Territory at Miller Park. And our Miller Lite, what's on tap? The Brewers and the Mets open their 3-game series tomorrow here at Miller Park. And the start time is moved up an hour. On the air at 5:30 for Brewers Live. First pitch 6:08. As the Mets come to town. 3-game series with New York will wrap up a 9-game homestand. Juan Uribe leads off, and on the first pitch, Narveson retires him. Uribe batting for Pablo Sandoval, who was taken out of this game in the top of the frame. Lincecum tomorrow against the Cardinals. The Giants head to St. Louis, continuing their road trip. San Francisco won 2 out of 3 from the A's to start it. And now they'll have to deal with the top 2 teams in the National League Central. Also 2 teams you figure the Giants will be dealing with concerning the wild card when it's all said and done. Shearholtz off the end of the bat and another base hit. Boy, this guy is on fire. That is his 3rd hit of the day. 3 singles today for Shearholtz. He's been one of the hottest hitters the Giants have had lately.
Hey, fans, buy a large Mickey D's sweet tea at McDonald's and redeem the cup at a Miller Park ticket office for a buy one get one ticket offer on Terrace reserve seats for select games. That's 414-902-4000 for information.
Base runner for the Giants with 1 out here in the 7th. Nate Shearholtz is now 11 for 21 in his last 5 games. A .524 batting average. Playing his way into Bochy's lineup every day.
Got a nice swing up there. Keeps the bat in the hitting zone a long time, even when he doesn't make good solid contact. Finds a way to find the outfield. A couple of his hits today haven't been hit right on the nose. He's got an infield hit, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, I guess he was due for a couple of cheapies because of that play Cameron made on him last night.
Yep, Shearholtz got robbed of a home run. Ishikawa with one away. Narveson put one right by him. Strikeout for Narveson. Well, you know, Ken Maka would love for Narveson to give him some extended innings here today.
Yeah, good fastball right on the corner. Not much Ishikawa could do with that one. And showing some confidence right now in Narveson to allow him to face Renteria in this situation with 2 outs. As you mentioned, like to save as many guys in that bullpen as you can until the Brewers show some signs of life offensively.
The Brewers do not have an off day for a while. Their next off day will be a week from tomorrow. So this is a long stretch of consecutive games. It looked for a while there like Suppan was going to make an early exit. Narveson was warming up in the 2nd inning today, but Suppan ends up pitching 5 2/3. Cardinals are trailing the Twins in St. Louis in the 7th inning. Minnesota has a 5-2 lead. Liriano still on the mound, pitching well for Minnesota. Justin Morneau has hit his 17th homer of the year. Renteria pops it up. McGee makes the call and the catch. And the side retired Narveson a scoreless 7th inning. It's stretch time at Miller Park. We invite you to join us for Miller Park's rendition of God Bless America.
game going to the 7th, 5-0 to San Francisco. And you hate to say it, one way to beat the Brewers may be to have somebody start and make their major league debut. Ryan Sadowski handling the Brew Crew pretty good again today, Davey.
Well, he certainly did. He came out there and did probably more than what Bruce Bochy, the manager, wanted to do. 6 strong innings and just had our guys off balance, only giving up 4 hits.
Only 4 hits, no runs, and this could be his best performance in the minors or the majors here this year. He was very hittable coming in, but the Brewers can't do it against the youngster, so they'll go to a new pitcher, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But we want to tell you about our on-field instructional coming up after the game. Timing a leaping catch in the outfield. We saw Mike Cameron do it last night. We'll talk more about that coming up after the ball game, Brian.
All right, Craig, thanks. Bob Howery on to pitch for San Francisco as Mike Cameron leads off. 5-0 Giants on 10 hits. Pablo Sandoval has left this game with a stomach illness, we are told. So Sandoval is out. If the Brewers can put something together offensively, you wouldn't have to deal with Sandoval the rest of this game. Sadowski, 6 shutout innings, just 4 hits, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts in his major league debut.
And only 4 fly ball out. So coming in, we knew that he had a pretty good sinker, but did a nice job keeping the ball in the infield and pitched a dandy here today. Maybe a guy that these Brewer hitters know a little bit, Bobby Howery, will get him going. Howery spent a lot of time in the big leagues. Used to throw very hard, not as much anymore. Controlled pitcher. He's got a split-fingered fastball.
Cameron gets under one to deep left center. Playable for Torres, and 1 away. Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text question: do pitchers only chart pitches against teams they are facing? And that one's from the truck. The text question today. Lincecum has not been charting pitches.
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know how much charting goes on these days anyway.
The Brewers still do it. They still have their starting pitchers chart. Looper, of course, will face the Mets, but it's kind of part of the starting pitcher's routine with a lot of teams. Now, some teams have scouts in the stands who chart the pitches. A little easier to see from the seats.
Plus Joe Crawford and his group down in the Brewers clubhouse. I mean, they have video on everything that goes on. And I think it's more or less for a pitcher, a starting pitcher who hasn't done much for 4 days. To get him back into that mental routine where he's thinking about pitching and thinking about pitches and setting up hitters and things like that. Not sure how much it helps a guy other than that. Just start that mental process going the day before you start.
In the minor leagues, those who are in the starting rotation, when they chart, when it's their day to chart, usually there's a day to use the gun and then the day for the chart. So you'd have 2 starting pitchers literally in the stands with the fans in the minor leagues. And you can always kind of tell who the buddy system works with. You show up, the manager looks at the chart and he goes, wow, so-and-so is like 5 miles an hour faster today than he normally is. The buddies are saying, hey, give me a little extra velocity, would you? Trying to get to the big leagues here. 93 looks a lot better than 88.
Yeah, back when I was in the minor leagues, the starting pitcher, the day after he started, had the ball bag in center field for batting practice.
For BP.
That was his deal.
So they all have a routine. I think that still applies.
You can tell where a starting pitcher is in the rotation when he's going to start with what he's doing.
He's either on the shag bag, or he is on the gun, or he has the chart.
It's his long day to run. Doing a little bit of long distance running.
Kendall flies to left, and a quick 3-up, 3-down inning. Brewers aren't doing much offensively today. Still being shut out through 7.
Wiggly before June 30th for a chance to win a tailgate party, including food, beverage, and game tickets. Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig and save.
It's been all Giants so far today in front of 43,000 at Miller Park. 43,391. The 18th sellout of the year. Not much to cheer about so far. The Brewers have only 4 hits. They're being shut out. Meanwhile, the Giants with 5 runs on the board. And Mark DeFelice is on to pitch in relief of Chris Narveson, who goes an inning and a third and does not allow a run on 1 hit. His best outing as a Brewer.
Yeah, good job by Narveson. Trying to keep the Giants off the board. DeFelice hasn't pitched since Thursday against the Twins, so he's well rested. Now you're better off using 3 pitchers for 1 inning as opposed to 1 pitcher for 3 innings, because if you extend the guy too much, you can't use him for a couple of days. Of course, you can't do that every day either.
Right.
You can't pitch every one of your guys 1 inning. That's the one thing that fans ask. You walk around town, why couldn't they use DeFelice again today? Well, he's pitched 3 days in a row.
Right.
You can't do that. Why not?
And sometimes it's not just how many consecutive games he pitches in. It's has to do more with how many times he's actually throwing in the bullpen. Sometimes you may throw and get up. You pitch a couple of times down the bullpen getting ready, and you may not get in a game, but that counts.
And all those pitches are counted down there.
Kid Maka has some pretty strict rules on how to use a bullpen. If a guy pitches in 3 consecutive games, he'll get 2 days off. You get guys like DeFelice and Todd Coffey, they don't necessarily like that rule. They feel like they can pitch more often, but that's the way the manager does it. And as he's done it this year, you feel like the bullpen is in very good shape for what could be a stretch run. And Maka has been very disciplined with that. Well, fans can still take advantage of one of the best deals of the season for great savings on tickets through the Dollars for Dingers offer. During the 9-game stretch that ended on June 25th, wait a minute here, the Brewers hit 12 home runs, so we're 3 days past that. 12 home runs. That means with $1 off for each home run, the price of a Lowe's outfield ticket is only $16. So that applies to the July 7th and 8th games versus St. Louis. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
$12 savings on a $28 ticket.
That is a good deal, particularly knowing that just about every game is sold out. A good offer, take advantage of it.
And some great crowds. The Brewers put 42,000 in here last night. It is such a fun time to be in Milwaukee. You've got Summerfest going on. Down by the lake, beautiful weather today for Summerfest. I would imagine many of these fans in the ballpark today will be migrating over to the Summerfest grounds.
Yep. And just to clarify, every game is not sold out at this point, but by the time the first pitch is thrown, it looks like a sellout. So, ticket offers like that, few and far between.
We don't want you to think you can't get tickets.
No.
But we want you to know that sometimes you can't get tickets, so we're on both sides of that fence. There's a liner into left and a base hit. Eli Whiteside with a hit. His first hit of the day. And that means Bob Howery is going to get an at-bat. The Giant reliever.
Well, Whiteside did a heck of a job with Sadowski today. If there were any nerves with Sadowski, you would never know it, and I would imagine that the familiarity with Whiteside had a lot to do with that.
Howery bunts. DeFelice has only played a first, and 2 gone. Well, Sadowski making his major league debut, and it had to be comforting to look back there and see a guy who has caught him the last couple of seasons in Eli Whiteside. And I'm sure Bruce Bochy let Whiteside catch today for that reason. Bochy is a former catcher. He knows catchers have a lot to do with the success of a pitcher.
Only when they do well.
It's kind of like an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Do you ever have a pitcher take you out for a steak dinner after a, maybe a no-hitter or something?
No,
it didn't happen.
No. Got a bottle of wine from a guy. Didn't like wine back then. But it was a nice gesture.
Yeah, it was nice thought. Is there any chance that would have come from Don Sutton?
It did. Because I appreciate it. I still have it.
He's a wine guy.
I still have the bottle since the time that he gave it to me.
Yeah.
And now I developed a taste for wine. So
okay.
That bottle's empty.
So it's an empty bottle.
And nobody knows wine like Don Sutton.
Yeah, he does. That's good.
Davey's a wine connoisseur.
Yeah, Davey Nelson is a wine guy.
Yeah.
Not a guy who whines, but a wine guy. Davey never whines. Look out up there. I think Dale Swain just saved a few teeth in that Brewers dugout.
As long as it doesn't hit Gallardo.
Matter of fact, somebody wrapped Gallardo in bubble wrap and sent him in the clubhouse. That was dangerously close to the Brewers.
Take one for the team, Dale.
Like a grenade. Swain jumping in front of that one. There's Davey and Craig talking a little wine.
Craig's more of an energy drink guy.
Yeah, he's more of a, yeah, exactly.
He was fired up a couple of days ago for Brewers Live. My goodness.
Coming in hot. There's a line drive base hit, and a run is going to score. And the Giants tack one on. It is now 6-0. Randy Wynn with an RBI hit, his second RBI, and his second hit of the game. So the sacrifice bunt by Howry leads to a Giant run.
Yeah, that cut fastball. That might have been a fastball down the middle. Cut fastball, and DeFelice not as effective against lefties.
Andres Torres batting for the first time. Took over for Fred Lewis in center field in the bottom of the sixth. Well, the Cardinals made the trade yesterday to pick up Mark DeRosa. Last year, the Brewers made a trade with the Indians, acquiring CC Sabathia just before the All-Star break. Sabathia made 2 starts prior to the All-Star break. And this year, it's the Cardinals who make the first strike.
Well, that's definitely going to help the Cardinals. That's a big-time professional baseball player in Mark DeRosa. He gives you a lot, both on and off the field.
Cardinals looking for anyone to protect Albert Pujols. DeRosa instantly goes into the cleanup spot. Cardinals lost Troy Gloss, perhaps for the season, as DeFelice strikes out Torres. The inning is over. Brewers down 6-0 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. one-sided affair up to now. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Ryan Sadowski making his major league debut and 6 shutout. Suppan giving up 5 runs, all earned in 5 2/3, and on the hook for his 6th loss of the season. Matt Downs also a major league first here today, his first home run of his career. Boy, how important was that comeback win last night? Brewers down 2 runs against one of the game's best closers. They scored 3 to win it, and they win the series. Otherwise, this one looks a whole lot different.
Boy, you're really coming in, and certainly the Brewers have 6 outs to go, not over yet. They're coming in. You've won the first 2 games of this series. You find out that Lincecum's not going to start. Get a major league debut. You feel pretty good about yourself going into today. So far, it hadn't happened.
Brewers with a chance to sweep. Giants putting out a lineup that might have raised a few eyebrows in spring training, is not having enough starting players in their lineup. But it's been a lineup that has delivered big time. 6 runs on 12 hits. What's that rule in spring training, Rock? You got to have like 5.
I think it's 3.
Oh.
3 of your regulars in the lineup.
3 of your regulars. Well, they were covered today.
Which isn't many, is it?
But no Aaron Rowan, no Benji Molina. As Catalinato down on strikes. Catalinato pinch hitting in the pitcher spot.
It's one of those soft rules, it really doesn't apply too much, in spring training. Nobody really cares. It's really to protect the fans. Wendy's at the plate. Matt Gamla's first ever appearance as a leadoff hitter at any level. 0 for 2 and a walk. A lot of times that applies to maybe, a team comes from Phoenix, goes down to Tucson. You might not want to play your regular guys, but the fans in Tucson, they want to see some big league talent. It's kind of one of those rules that they've incorporated to protect the fans.
We strictly enforce that rule on the webcast at spring training. And we point it out if it doesn't happen.
And if the Brewers don't have enough, we just say that one of the guys is playing.
Right, because it's like a radio broadcast.
You would never know in a webcast.
That's what I'm saying.
Just say it's Ryan Braun in left.
Yeah, we bring our own bat crack machine and our crowd machine.
It's like the old days.
Just like the old days. Just like Ronald Reagan used to. Did we have our webcasting contracts renewed for next year?
I haven't heard.
Yeah, I hope so.
I know mine hasn't been renewed.
Get young Corey Provis back on the air. He might not be so willing to join us on the webcast next spring as he was this spring. He was eager.
Old wily veteran next year.
Now he's got a year under his belt. Gamble draws a walk. So Bob Howery, a base runner with 1 away. There's Corey Provis, talented young Brewers radio broadcaster, the youngest broadcaster in Major League Baseball. He's only 30. Great addition to the team. What a good guy he is.
Yes, he is. Doing a very good job pretending like he doesn't know he's on the air. Got a television monitor in their booth, checking out replays.
Sitting next to the legend, Bob Uecker. He looks into it, doesn't he? He's got the fast blinking going on. You know what the fast blink means. If you're a parent, you certainly know what the fast blink means. There's Uecker. Uecker's fishing tournament was a big hit this year.
They caught a lot of fish. Had 40 boats down there in Racine.
That's great.
That's something else.
Benefiting the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Hardy strikes out. So Howry with 2 strikeouts now. And it sets up the Howry versus Braun matchup, which in Brewers lore will always go down as one of the greatest moments ever in franchise history. Ryan Braun's home run in the bottom of the 8th against the Cubs in the final day of the regular season off of Bob Howry, sending the Brewers to the postseason for the first time in 26 years.
Yeah, that was a special day here at the ballpark. That wouldn't guarantee at least a playoff with the New York Mets. If the Mets were to beat the Florida Marlins, the Marlins went on to win, and the fun began here at the ballpark. That was a day I'll never forget around here.
That was something. Just to see the atmosphere here after the game. You know, there was about a 30-minute window when the Brewers game ended. A sellout crowd stayed, and they put the Mets and the Marlins up on the big screen. And it became the largest sports bar in the history of sports, with 42,000 all watching the monitor and watching the game unfold in New York. And the Marlins won, knocking the Mets out, putting the Brewers in. And then the party started. Brewers players talk about the postseason last year as just coming and going in a flash. You know, there was so much excitement in the city. Going to Philadelphia. And those 2 games were over and done. Brewers came home down 0-2. They won Game 3 and then were knocked out by the Phillies, the eventual World Series champs, in Game 4. As Braun strikes out, the inning is over as Howry strikes out the side. We head to the 9th, 6-0 San Francisco. Our U.S. Cellular text to vote. Your favorite logo. The ball and glove, W. The X logo. I'm not even sure what you call that one. The crest. And then the current Brewers logo is Y. 234-234. Fans providing our U.S. Cellular text to vote question here today.
The crest?
I don't know. What do you guys call that logo?
That's a Notre Dame logo.
The Notre Dame logo?
Kind of reminded me of the ND.
Is that something you're coming up with, or is that what they called it?
It just looked like it to me.
You kind of blew my crest out of the water there.
I didn't like it.
Chris Smith on the pitch. You blew my crest up, and then you came back with a Notre Dame logo.
Wasn't much better, was it? I'm trying to help.
Sitting here in Marquette country, and you're going to drop a Notre Dame on us.
Yeah. That logo didn't last long. It really didn't.
That wasn't a high point. And it was associated with some pretty bad ball clubs as well.
Yeah.
A dark day. Brewer history. You were in the ball and glove era.
Yes, sir.
And you were in the California Angels era, right?
Right. The Brewer era with the baby blue road uniforms, the pullover jerseys, the no belt look,
the nice tight fit. Smith strikes out Uribe.
The Mod Squad era.
I think more teams should bring back the baby blues. I know the Royals have done it.
A good slider. Maybe changeup. I mean, Chris Smith talked about that pitch that Sandoval hit out last night. Looked like a slider, but he said it was a changeup.
Had a question about the ball and glove uniforms earlier in the homestand. I was walking through the stands on the way out, and it used to be every Friday. Look at those two guys, man. What a great shot. But it used to be every Friday they'd have Retro Friday. Now it's once a month. The ball and glove with the cheese hat. That's about as Milwaukee as you can get right there, huh? Your Notre Dame logo was used from 94 to 99.
Longer than I thought.
Yeah. Some decent years in there. Phil Garner.
I associate that with the John Jaha era of Brewer baseball. He could hit.
Shearholtz to right, deep right. Hart running out of room, and that one is gone. Home run for Nate Shearholtz, who is just destroying National League pitching lately. That's his fourth hit. 7-0.
That changeup, and Shearholtz didn't look like he got a good swing on it out in front. Kind of let go of the top hand and able to just sneak it over that right field fence. Into the Airtran landing zone. I think it took out a couple of plates of food out there.
That's one of the spots in the ballpark you can actually relive some memories, because the bricks in that Airtran landing zone, those bricks on the back wall, are the original bricks from County Stadium. So a little history out there. Hardy takes care of Ishikawa for out number 2. What about Barrelman, Rock? Barrelman was a popular logo in the 70s. That didn't make our U.S. Cellular list today.
That was the first one, right?
Yep. That was the very first logo coming from Seattle, where
right.
they were the pilots. Barrelman, I think for about 8 years. Most of the 70s it was Barrelman until the late 70s when the ball and glove made it. Tommy Mendel designed that ball and glove logo. He was an art history student at UW Eau Claire, and he won the contest. It's one of the greatest logos in the history of the game.
What do you think he got for it?
I heard he got
a couple of tickets,
a couple grand, but I don't know.
Couple tickets, maybe a bat.
He got a big attaboy.
And thank you very much.
2 outs. 2-2 the count. Smith trying to get through the 9th. Now Maka's going to be able to get through this game with just 3 relievers today. As Renteria sends one deep to center field, Cameron runs it down, and the inning is over. 7-0 Giants. His major league debut, 6 shutout innings, only 4 hits. He also collected his first major league hit in his second at bat. So quite a day for Sadowski. He's in line for the win. 7-0 Giants. And the final results in our U.S. Cellular text to vote: 72% with the ball and glove. The crest version outdid the current Brewers logo. There's a shocker. Late rally. But I would have to agree with the fans. 72% with the ball and glove. Still my favorite.
X had a better showing than I thought.
That's the industrial stamp logo, I've been told.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Fielder hit by a pitch. Jonathan Sanchez into pitch. Drills fielder. And Prince is not happy.
No, it gets him right above the elbow. This guy coming in just lost his spot in the starting rotation. Coming in a 7-0 ball game, and you got to do a little bit better than that. Doesn't look like he has much intensity out there.
Sanchez was scheduled to start today, but as Rock mentioned, he's been taken out of the rotation for now. And the way Sadowski pitched, you got to believe Sadowski is going to get more opportunities after his day today. Why wouldn't he? Casey McGee looking for his second hit. He homered last night. Powerball home run number 4 for McGee. That was a game-tying home run in the 6th inning.
Hey, I think this sends a message from Bruce Bochy to Jonathan Sanchez. I mean, you send him out in the bullpen, you have him mop up a 7-0 ball game.
It's a guy with a terrific arm and great stuff, but he's been the only Giant starter that has struggled this year. They've had very good pitching. Best ERA in the National League coming in. Their bullpen has been outstanding, which is why it was such a surprise that the Brewers were able to come back against that Giants bullpen. Has more to do with just stuff at this level, for sure.
Yeah, between the ears is probably more important than raw stuff.
If you make it to the big league level, you have talent. That's a given. And there are a lot of guys with great stuff that just never really put it together. The Giants are hoping that a trip to the bullpen for Sanchez will help turn him around. Strike on the outside corner, and McGee is rung up.
That's what makes him so tough. I mean, he'll drill the first batter that he faces and then paints the corner on a couple of pitches and gets a strikeout. Perfect pitch right on the edge. Casey thought it might have been away.
Now the Twins lead the Cardinals 5-2. That game's in the 9th inning. So the Twins looking to take 2 out of 3 from St. Louis. And that will keep the Brewers percentage points ahead of the Cardinals in the National League Central. Cardinals have played 2 more games than the Brewers.
Cubs are losing again, 6-0. Top of the 9th in Chicago.
White Sox threatening to take 2 of 3 from the Cubs.
Cubs under 500.
Six to nothing, the White Sox lead the Cubs in the bottom of the 8th. White Sox have just added a run. Mets tomorrow on Fox Sports Wisconsin. We start an hour earlier. 5:30 is airtime for Brewers Live. 6:08 first pitch. Brewers will see Santana on Tuesday. Tomorrow it is the hard-throwing Nieve, who's 3-0 for the Mets and a 1.31 earned run average. Santana Tuesday. Pelfrey goes on Wednesday. Pelfrey and Gallardo in an afternoon game at Miller Park. Gallardo is tough in the daytime. So the tough competition continues as the Mets come to town. Cameron strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sanchez. The Mets started the day a game and a half back of the Phillies in the National League East. Phillies were in Toronto today. That game's over now. The Phillies win it 5-4. Mets play tonight. They play the Yankees in a Sunday nightcapper. So the Mets are going to be here in the wee hours of the morning. Fernando Nieve has great stuff. The Mets starter tomorrow. Brewers down to their last out. And Hart strikes out. And a forgettable afternoon at Miller Park finally wraps up. 7-0. The Giants win it handily. Sanchez strikes out the side. Brewers Live post game continuing right after the turn. Stay with us.